let's finish up here with chapter 7. So we have one more set of topics to talk about. And that's for the area of triangles. So hopefully you guys remember from geometry that the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height, right? But here's the problem. If all I'm given is side lengths and angles, the height of our triangle isn't going to be any of those, right? Doesn't matter which side I think of as the base. Like the height is going to be some like is going to be some internal segment. And actually, geometrically, that internal segment is going to be tough to obtain. Rather, if I'm given only sides and angle measures, I'd rather use one of these two versions. So if I have some non-right triangle, so I can say the area is going to equal 1/2 AB sine of angle C. Or I could write it as 1/2 BC sine of angle A. Or I could write it as 1/2 AC sine of angle B. If I look at the situation, let's say this one, I have angle C that I need, and then I have side A, and I have side B. What type of situation is this? Yeah, so these are going to be good for side angle side. So let's just crank out a little example here. So say we want to find say we want to find the area of the triangle where angle A is 43 degrees, side B is 10 millimeters, and side C is 27 millimeters. So I'd want to start by just drawing myself a picture and labeling it, just like we've been doing kind of on every problem. Yeah, Josh. Sure. What do I observe here? The type of triangle. Side angle side. So I can just say then my area is equal to 1/2 10 times 27 times sine of 43. And I'm done, right? Just type it in my calculator and I'm good to go. Make sure I'm in degree mode. I wasn't. Good thing I checked. So I get about 9207. And what should the unit here be? What should the unit be on this? Close. It's an area. Millimeters squared. Is Mr. Kulik going to be picky about that your unit has a squared on it if we're calculating area? Yeah, he's going to. Is everybody okay here? Pretty straightforward, right? Just like if it's a side angle side, you just plug them into the formula and press enter and you're done. Should be very straightforward. Our second new formula so we have our regular triangle, and I'm going to define a new quantity called the semi-perimeter that I'm going to abbreviate with S. Remember, the prefix semi usually means half. Notice A plus B plus C is the perimeter of the triangle. So if I divide it by 2, it's like a semi-perimeter. So our area formula is going to be the square root of S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. So what measurements do I need to be able to do this? I need A, B, and C. What kind of triangle do I need here? Side, side, side. So let's do a quick example using this one. Find the area of the triangle where A is 5 meters, B is 8 meters, and C is 10 meters. What do I need to check before I do anything here, since it's a side, side, side situation? I need... Yeah, go ahead.
If the two segments are very hypotenuse.
Great. I have to check to see if any triangle is possible. So is leg plus leg greater than the hypotenuse? 5 plus 8 is greater than 10. Yes, it is. So we do have a valid triangle. How did I know that 10 was the hypotenuse? It's the biggest one. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to start by computing S. Now, I need every single person in here to watch, because if you don't pay attention to this, you're going to do this exact same thing on your calculator and get the wrong answer. 5 plus 8 plus 10 divided by 2 is 18. Does that make any lick of sense to you, any of you? No. What is my mistake? Is the calculator broken?
5 plus 8 plus 5.
Yeah, the dividing is only being attached to the 10 as it's currently written. How should I write this? I either need a parenthesis around the 5 plus 8 plus 10, or I need to use that horizontal fraction bar. I'm going to do that. Don't make that same mistake, okay? I'm showing it to you now because it's an easy one to make. All right, so now I'm just going to plug this through my formula, right? So I'm going to use my ants command rather than having to type in 23 over 2 a bunch of times. So I'll do square root of ants times ants minus a. Oops. Times ants minus b times ants minus c Everybody okay there? I don't like that. So let me turn into a decimal. So about 19.81. What unit should be attached to this? Meters squared. What do we think? Pretty stinking easy, right? Like all you're doing is plugging it into a formula. Mr. Cool, could this get hard in any kind of way? It's the only way I could complicate this. What situation do I need for the first formula? I needed a side angle side, right? What situation do I need for the second formula? Side, side, side. What if you're not given one of those two situations? Right? What do we do? It's the only way this can get complicated. So let's do a quick example. What situation am I in? Angle, angle, side, right? Hey, fellas.
What's up?
Looking at the heater?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be loud. You want to get out? Go across the hall?
To
Or do
where?
you not care?
We'll just deal with it. I have like 5 more minutes and then they're just going to be working on their study guides and homeworks and stuff, so. Okay. So, which one should I be going for? The side angle side situation or the side 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 situation? Side angle side. Very good. Why? I only need to find one more side for it. Everybody agree? Does it matter whether I shoot for side C or side B? It does not. Great. Well, let's solve for side B because I don't have to also find angle C. Not that that would have been hard in this situation, but. So we'll just say that we have sine of angle A over side A equals sine of angle B over side B. We'll cross multiply. And then divide by the sine 50. I need to stop using 5s in these problems where I have sines, huh? Everybody feel okay so far? That's about 576. So far, so good. So if I use my law of sines formula, which angle do I need? I would need that, right? Does everybody agree? Since I have sides A and B, you need angle C. So I guess I got to find that anyway. Oh, shoot, Mr. Gulick. I thought I was going to get away with only having to find one thing. And typically, you always are going to need to find 2. So what's that, 38? Is that right? No. Yeah? Mental math, you failed me. $68 wasn't even close. So my area then will be 1/2 5 times 5.7 times sine 68. And I can't remember if that happens in the homework or not, to be honest with you. But that's the worst case scenario. That's as hard as I could possibly make it. So I get about 13.36. What do you guys think? You know, no big deal, right? Hopefully, your final problem set is 23 through 30. Sunday at midnight. Also Sunday at midnight, last chance for missings from Chapter 7. So if you have Chapter 7 stuff you haven't completed or got marked missing or whatever, make sure you kind of get that taken care of. Anything prior to Chapter 7 is now unmakeupable. But Chapter 7 stuff I will still continue to take up through Sunday at midnight. Reminder, I gave all of you guys the exam review packet at the start of class. The exam review packet, if you complete it and turn it in by Friday before 2:45, you get 5 points of extra credit onto your exam. You get to use your exam review on your exam. Mr. Kulik, can I write anything I want on my exam review? Yes. You can give yourself a narrative of like how you do the problem, what are things to watch out for, a general description so that, you know, it might work for problems other than exactly the numbers that are on the specific problem on the review. You can be general, do a really good job on your review because it'll really help you come the final. This is me trying to make this not a task in memorization, but really a task now in preparation if you do a good job on your review, the final exam should be quite easy. That's my hope. The catch on that, though, is do you get to know the correct answers? Not until 2:45 on Friday. That's when I'll post the answer key. You're free to ask questions about things as you go during class or whatever. That's fine, but I'm not going to post an answer key with worked out solutions until 2:45 on Friday. Before you turn in your review packet, what might be a decent idea to do? Take pictures of what you turned in, so as you're studying and you go back and you look at the actual solutions that Mr. Kulik wrote, you go, oh shoot, number 3 is wrong and number 7 was wrong. I better make sure I really do a good job of studying those because I made a big mess out of the review and that's not going to be a whole lot of help to me. But that's my suggestions for you guys. I also put in the OneNote under the semester 1 exam, the equation sheet that you'll get for the exam. So I give you a bunch of, like I do on a lot of the tests, I give you all the equations that I'm going to give you on the exam are there also. So you know whether you need to, like, anything not listed there, something that you're responsible for to memorize. Or even if you want to reference on your review while you're doing it, like, hey, for this problem, I need to look up on the equation sheet this formula or whatever. You know, you can label it as something from the equation sheet or whatever. You know what I mean? To remind yourself that, like, hey, on this problem, I'll have to go look these things up because that's how I'm going to get those numbers or this formula or whatever. Questions about any of these things? Wednesday and Friday will just be simply work days where you can work on your review. Again, if you have questions about specific things on the review, I'm happy to look at what you have and give you some feedback or point you in the right direction or check something right or wrong if you're not sure about it. But that's the gist of things. Okay. Will the exam follow the format of your review? Yes. They'll essentially be the review, but shorter. Okay, so same types of questions, same format of questions. Like, if it's not on the review, I wouldn't worry about it. To help you narrow things down on what to study, because we've gone through and done a whole lot of stuff this semester. What do you guys think? Have a pretty clear picture of kind of what to do for preparation and like what to expect when we get there? Okay. The hope is to make this very narrow and focused for you so that it's not so overwhelming. And again, it becomes not a task in memorization, but a task in preparation. So again, spend your time in class working on your review. Make sure that I would want mine basically done by Friday, short of things that I might want to ask a question or two about in class. Since it's got to be turned in on Friday, I don't want to wait till last minute and like rush through the thing. I want to take my time and be very purposeful and careful while I'm, doing this. Does that sound all good to you guys? Okay. Any final questions for me before we kind of lock this thing down for the semester? Yeah, Brody. Yeah, sure. It's the Brodiest question that could have asked in that situation. All right.